Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be going over text compressor 3 and text decompressor 3. So let's start. Here we import pathlib path from pathlib, which gives us access to files. We store the download path of the user from path home/downloads because that's how File Explorer works. Then if you make a file path for later, and the end file is going to be called compressed_file.txt, and we have a file, and the file variable is us opening a file at text_file.txt as read binary. We store the contents of this file as read. We have an empty list for original bytes, and for each byte in the contents, we append a byte as a string to original bytes. And now we have an empty compressed bytes list, and for each byte, and so now we go for j in range original bytes. For each byte in original bytes, we store it. We have an empty compressed byte, and we have inner row count 1, and the current bit is the first character. So now we go for I in range 1 to length of that byte. For each character in the byte, it checks if it's the same as the previous character. If it is, it adds inner row count plus 1. It increments in the row count. If not, it checks if the inner row count is less than 2. If it is, it just to compressed to the empty compressed byte string, it just appends the current bit. But if it's more than 2, it appends the inner row count and the current. But regardless of what it does, it resets the inner row count back to 1, because it can never be 0, because that would not exist. But yeah. And then the current bit switches to original by I, because the current bit is always one step behind. So here we update it to original by at the current index, and then we check if the I or the index counter in the loop built in is equal to length of original by minus 1. So if we're at the I index of the last character in original byte, then we check if, let's see, this is hard to read. Then we check if the last character is equal to the second to last character. If it is, yeah, so then it adds, anyway, once again it adds to compressed byte, it adds in the inner row count, and then the original byte at index last character. Else it just adds to the compressed byte the original byte at the last character index. And after all that, two compressed bytes are listed, append the compressed byte. Yeah, and here's what new of this part. Here, this is the purpose for these, let's say. This is a file library once again. So now from here, we can open at the file flag we defined earlier. We can open W, which is write, with open file path, add that file as you write in it as compressed file. That's gonna be the name of the file, compressed file.txt, and we're gonna check for each byte in the compressed bytes list. We're gonna write to that file in as an F string with a new line character after it, because if we just remove the new line character, then we don't know when we could mathematically calculate when each byte is done based on the algorithm, but that would be super annoying. So for easier purposes, we just put a new space. Okay. That was txt compressor 3. Let's go to txt decompressor 3. The same thing here, just a small addition, but I figured I would post it anyway. Okay, we import the same file library, get the downloads path too, and the file path, and we see the new file is going to be called decompressed file.txt. And we have this I still need this test, initial test. So you have the initial list of compressed bytes, which is just random compressed bytes, which are actually valid though. And we have empty list for decompressed bytes, and for each byte in here, decompressed byte is empty. Compressed byte is this current bit, the current byte in the current byte at the index in compressed bytes. And for each bit here in the byte, we check if the bit is either 0 or 1. If it is, we just add that bit. If it's not, for the numerical value of the bit, we loop for the numerical value of the bit times. So like if it's 2, 4, let's say 4 for example, we loop 4 times, and for each of those times we add a number behind it. So decompressed byte plus equals compressed byte I plus 1, because the number behind it is what gets repeated, the number in, like by in a row count, the number more than 1. Yeah, and after all that, we add to the decompressed bytes the decompressed byte. And also here, yeah, we also add file path, which is defined here, write as decompressed file, and for each byte in this decompressed bytes list, we write f string of byte in a null line character, because same issue. Or actually, I'm not sure if I really need this, but you'll see. In the next video, I'll sort it out. Okay, and this is just for me. This prints the decompressed bytes list. Well, yeah. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. I'm really happy. I don't know if it's from this series, but I've gotten one more subscriber on the channel, and the engagement has been really good. So keep it up, guys. As always, ask any questions in the comments. And as you can see here, one last thing real quick, sorry to waste your time, but as you can see here, there's like these different files. These will all be posted, these like image files will all be posted at the end, in the end video, in the description, for as well as all the open source links. Well, yeah, once again, thank you for watching.